The Statistics New Zealand report released yesterday showed that just over 20,000 couples were married last year, but that's the lowest number in a decade. Jessica Horn reports.
When the popularity of getting hitched was at its peak, 27,000 couples tied the knot. That was in 1971. 40 years later, that number has dramatically dropped, and Hamilton celebrant K.M. Adams believes it's all down to money.
Expense plays a big part in people's minds as to whether they're going to get married and have the big ceremony, because really you can look at it and think, well, that's a lot of money to spend on one day, when really what you're doing is throwing a huge party for everybody else, which is money you could be putting down on a mortgage on a home for yourself.
An Auckland celebrant, Mary Hancock, agrees and believes the weakness of the economy is playing a huge role.
Weddings generally, you're basically looking at a minimum charge of $5,000, and often they average out at $10,000. People are deciding not necessarily to do that, to put off doing it.
Lucy Govan, who's 24, is planning her November wedding. She says she's having to ask herself hard questions so her budget doesn't get out of hand.
It's quite a huge cost to incur in your life, and all aspects of a wedding are, I've found to be very expensive, so I'm sure it would put a lot of people off.
But the minister of the Cashmere Hills Presbyterian Church, David Costa, believes marriage numbers are dropping for a different reason.
People in New Zealand society at present don't see marriage as a necessity. They actually have relationships, and those are relationships of commitment, but they do not see it as being a necessity to tie the knot in terms of marriage. They feel they've already made that commitment to each other.
And the newer form of making a relationship official, a civil union, seems to have plateaued in popularity. There were 301 civil unions in 2011. That's up from 273 in 2010, but below the peak of 374 in 2006. Mary Hancock says civil union celebrants have also noticed a drop.
Quite a few of us were more active when the bill first came through as civil union celebrants, and not so much now. But we've noticed a bigger decline in the numbers of people marrying.
But K.M. Adams says this isn't the beginning of the end.
I don't think it will ever die out, because human beings, we need symbols and we need rituals and we need to mark occasions and make them special. And marriage is a way of marking an occasion, of committing to another person and saying, I'm with you and I'm with you for life. And I don't think that will ever die out.
2011 was also a year of fewer divorces, with only 8,500 couples calling it quits. At its peak in 1982, there were more than 12,300 divorces. For Morning Report, Jessica Horn.